Hello and welcome. Happy Saturday! Or is it Tuesday? Or is it Friday? Who knows? It's 2021. Welcome one, welcome all. Let's start with the song. Watermelon. Fig tree. La la la, lollipop. Buzzing bee. It's an oldie and a goodie. All right, so I'm here to talk to you today about something that I am very passionate about. I think I've shared the video. Okay, I'm here to talk to you today about something I'm very passionate about, and it's something that it's something that sort of just like fell into my lap as far as like my awareness. I need to be aware of this in my own teaching. Hello, Victor. How's it going? Welcome one, welcome all. And that is, okay, so my name is Alexandra Loves, or Alexandra Lewis, for those of you who don't know me. I do spiritual guidance and help people with ancestry work and empowerment and all of that. And part of the work that I do is around anti-racism, allyship, and race identity and stuff like that. And I've been doing that for some years. And last year, after the lynching of George Floyd, I all of a sudden everybody wanted to be talking to me about this work. So over the summer, over the fall, over the winter, and now I've been talking in groups. I have the Black Mentor session for white people who are ready, the Anti-Racism Journey course, and now the Moms and Race course. And there's something that keeps coming up over and over again, and something that I kept seeing, also being involved in groups that are justice groups and equity groups, and being parts of summits and interviews and all of that. And there is this thing that's where it's accepted that using shaming and guilting and belittling and gaslighting and non-accountability is all acceptable in teaching people about anti-racism or Black history, or talking about inequities and injustice. This is what I noticed over this summer, spring, summer, fall, and winter. People would come and want to have a session with me, or people would want to join, the anti-racism journey, and they'd be like asking me questions to find out if I was going to blow up at them or shame them or yell at them, or whatever it is. And I get this feedback after I teach after I'd hold a panel space, or I teach or be in an interview. I get this feedback of like, oh my God, thank you for not being mean to us, or whatever. And I'm like, what is going on here? And so I dug in and I started looking at other courses. I started looking at other facilitators, and I realized I saw it. I saw within activist communities. I saw within social justice communities. And let me tell you, I'm just talking about the things that I saw. I'm not saying every social justice warrior. I'm not saying every anti-racist facilitator. But what I saw was a lot of infighting. What I saw was a lot of facilitators saying that they're teaching healing, that they're teaching white people how to be anti-racist or whatever, and they might be delivering a lot of knowledge and history. They might be giving a lot of tools, but they're also infusing more guilt and more shame. So I'm going to tell you this story. First of all, if you haven't guessed right now, I'm totally against that, right? Listen, if you're looking at the history of this country, if you are unplugging it and understanding like, oh, maybe I have racist thoughts, like, oh, maybe white supremacism lives in me or my family or this community that I thought was really amazing, and now I'm actually seeing like, some errors of our ways, right? You're already going to feel some guilt. You're already going to feel some shame and fear and rage and anger. Oh, you're already going to feel that. There's not any reason for someone who's trying to teach you how to correct that, teach you how to rebalance it, teach you how to be a good ally or accomplice, or deal with your own white supremacism. There's no reason to add more on top of that. Okay? If you really want to make a change in your life, you have to be empowered. It's as simple as that. So let me tell you a story of why this is so important. And Victor is saying, good, thanks. He's saying maybe white people might be using terms or doing things that they think are benign, but are actually racist. Yeah. That happens all the time. We all do that to some degree, no matter what the subject is. I mean, this is part of the journey. You're going to make mistakes. Okay? This is part of the journey. Okay? So let me tell you a story. I had a spiritual teacher many years ago, and we worked together for almost 10 years, I think maybe more than 10 years. And now in hindsight, when I look back on working with that teacher, I know that that teacher was probably not so right in the mind, had a lot of their own personal trauma that they were dealing with, was not the best communicator of people, and maybe wasn't the best teacher for me. I just didn't know that at the time. I was young. I started working with this teacher in my early 20s, okay? So this teacher, I always call my very best and my very worst teacher. Why? Because what I learned, we studied like inner wisdom along lines of Jnana Yoga, right? So we studied inner wisdom and drawing out the wisdom from within. I learned so much about this world and this life and what I'm capable of, and the beauty of the journey inside, and getting through those scary bits, those what we might call shadow bits. The things that we don't necessarily want to look at. I learned so much about relationship with deity and God, and relationship with people around me, and how to communicate myself in ways that I could create environments in which I could be myself, right? So I learned a lot of that, right? I learned a lot of that. I learned beautiful truths and mysteries of this universe. But a lot of his tactics were to shame me, were to guilt me, were to make me this is going to sound familiar for you, to try to make me accountable for things that I did not create myself, that I did not personally create myself, okay? Now, that does not mean I was not accountable for changing the things that are in my hands. That doesn't mean I was not accountable for creating a new legacy, right? Does this sound familiar? Creating a new legacy for what I needed to be responsible for now and what I want to see in the world. But there was a lot of like making me small, making me shut up, not allowing myself to lead myself, okay? So as I realized what was happening, there's a lot of gaslighting, narcissistic behavior, a lot of picking fights for no reason, not a lot of space for me to actually think and process, okay? And this is what I see all over social justice, and I see all over, you know, the teaching of anti-racism and allyship, and you know, facilitators holding healing spaces for white people, right? As I got away from that relationship, I came out with like all this amazing knowledge and all of this access to wisdom, but I also came out with a lot of trauma and a lot of pain. And so when I went to go access and start to try to create myself and create the world around me based on all this amazing wisdom and amazing knowledge and new perception, I always was carrying this with me. And so I wouldn't step forward the way I could have. I wasn't able to really grab onto the potentials of of all these new things that I learned, all the knowledge and the wisdom. I couldn't really grab onto. It was just like, it was like fear. And it took me years, okay? I still deal with this now. It took years for me to really dig into all the guilt and all the shame. It took me years to like really dig through that and really release it and cleanse myself of all of that so that I could be free to act upon this knowledge, to act within, to be powerful, to be empowered with everything I'd learned with that person. Does this sound familiar? I know there's a lot of people here. I can see you. Let me know in the comments. Does this sound familiar? Okay. So I learned from that experience. Over time after that, I started calling in teachers that treated me with respect, teachers that were able to get across to me the points they needed to get across to me, or guide me in ways that respected me, treating me with teachers that I could trust, teachers that didn't need to be abusive in the way that they were delivering information, right? And so as I started getting those teachers in my life, I realized, wow, that was what happened in my life. I'm glad I learned from it, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary. It caused more harm than good. It set me back. It was dirty. Okay, so when it comes to guilting and shaming white people, please, I'm asking you, I'm telling you, oh, there are comments. I didn't see. Okay. Ashley says, I love your attitude and vibe. Yes, thank you. Victor says, yes. And Cookman says, you are lovely. Thank you for sharing wisdom. Yes. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I love you all so much. I love the comments. It makes me know that I'm getting through to you. Okay. Victor's saying teachers can have a chip on their shoulder. Yeah, they can. Absolutely. So, white people. What is so prevalent and popular and somehow accepted and normalized is that there are a lot of facilitators and books and courses out there that use shaming and guilting and gaslighting and making you feel small to teach you about anti-racism and allyship and building equity and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Okay? I'm telling you right now, even if you get the best information, even if you're now holding on to like what you should do, here's A, B, and C of what you should do, you are now carrying more pain and more trauma. And the whole point of this whole thing, the whole reason that you're seeing so much anger and rage, the reason that there's so much conflict everywhere is because we're trying to heal. There's no reason to pour guilt and shame and belittling and shutting people down and shutting people up. There's no reason to pour that into this healing process. And so I'm making a strong recommendation because based on what we're talking today, and also because right now I'm enrolling people to this course, Moms and Race, and this is a question that still is coming up of people who don't really know me and how I work. I don't use guilting and shaming. I don't bring people in so that I can tear them down, right? So I'm getting questions from people who don't know me, like, hey, like, is this a safe space? Am I even allowed to ask that because I'm a white person? Am I allowed to have a safe space because I'm a white person? Look, yes. Yes, if you are going to be an ally, you need to be able to be in safe spaces so you can work through your own stuff. I can't get on board with this thing that white people should be oppressed so that we can solve marginalized people's oppression. Oppression doesn't you can't use the tools of the oppressor to fix oppression. Okay? Somebody's saying healing can sometimes be an enigma wrapped in a fantasy, wrapped in a riddle, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel, right? Right? So my strong recommendation is do not invest your time, resources, and energy in facilitators, in courses, in books, okay, in books that use shaming and guilting to get their point across. Now, again, remember at the beginning of this video, I said you are going to feel shame, you are going to feel guilt, you are going to feel those things. But people using it as a tactic is going to set you back. Your allyship, your anti-racism will not have longevity. How you build a more equitable, unified world will not have longevity if you're also carrying around the trauma of the teachers who taught you this new knowledge and wisdom. If you're carrying around abuse, if you're carrying around oppression, if you're carrying around all the gaslighting and all the... So don't engage with people, with even conversations or exchanges. If you see like bullying and belittling and guilting and shaming, don't even get in those exchanges. Those people, those teachers are not ready to go this deep for the kind of healing that we want to see in the world. Okay? They're just not there yet. Okay? Here's my controversial thought, the biggest controversial thought of all of this, okay? And that is, and I've been dragged to the rakes through coals for this more than once. White people, if what you really want to do is build anti-racism, be an ally, an accomplice, build unity, a better new world with equity for all, be a spokesperson, be involved with marginalized communities, you must be empowered. You absolutely must be empowered to do this. Now, there are nuances here. That does not mean that you take over a room. It does not mean that you shut down people of color's voices. It doesn't mean that you should be on top of a power structure. It means that you need to be empowered in how you're doing it, in your intentions. You need to be empowered in how you navigate, empowered in your own perspective, grounded, having good foundational tools to navigate all of this. All right? You have to be empowered. When you're not empowered, you allow yourself to be guilted and shamed. When you're not empowered, you allow yourself to take on this reverberating oppression that we are passing each other, eating our own tails when we're trying to heal, right? So, my friends, I've been focusing in on anti-racism, allyship, teaching about equity and unity for, I've been doing it for a long time, but focused in since May. It's all I've been doing. And I have decided that this is the last month I am going to do this for a while. My very last class on anti-racism is coming up at the end of this month. February 21st, we start. It's called Moms and Race. Please, please consider joining us. It's a no shaming, no guilting space. It is customized to the participants in the space. Enrollment is open now. It is limited enrollment. Danny, Tony, hello. Yes. This one is awesome. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, and Victor, I see all your comments. So please, if you would like to work with me further on this, I understand we're busy. I understand that, a lot of this can be, all of these subjects can be overwhelming. I teach anti-racism from a spiritual perspective, and I teach in a way that's accessible to people. And look, you don't have to show up live for the class. You can watch the recordings. They're yours forever. And I know there's a lot of you out there who've been wanting to work with me, and I'm letting you know this is kind of like it for my live teaching. This is kind of like the last class I'll be doing live on these subjects for, I don't know, an indefinite amount of time. And right now the early bird goes till February 8th. And right now the course is less than working with me in a one-on-one session. So please do consider it. If you know moms who are like, I've been talking about this, I don't know what to do, I feel like I'm doing it wrong, all that, tag them, share this, let them know. I don't have a marketing budget. This is all word of mouth. So if you found value in this, please do share. And know that, how do I sign up? Yay, Danny, I'm glad you're going to be with us. The links are all over my Facebook page if you scroll up and down, and it's in this video. So the links are there. I'm so excited you're going to be with us. Ashley's asking, how often and long are the classes? How long is the course? Thank you. Oh my gosh. I always forget to give the details. The course is 3 sessions. We start on February 21st. There are 3 sessions. They're an hour and a half. You come for however long you can come for. Even if you can't come to the live classes, right? These 3 sessions we're going to have over 3 weeks time, right? Every Sunday. Even if you can't come, I still have a place for you to ask your questions so that I can customize them into the course. So even if you just see the replay, it's still customized to you. You get your questions answered. That's a guarantee. So do you only accept moms? No, you can join this course even if you're not a mom, because honestly, look, you might not have skin in the game and have a kid there, but we all, a lot of us, if we're in leadership positions, if we're in positions where we are wanting to create a better new world, we are teaching people who we might be teaching children at some point, but we also are teaching people who are brand new to these subjects. And some of the tools that you're going to get in this course for talking to kids and engaging with them with race, a lot of them can be used for adults. As a matter of fact, when I'm dealing with a really challenging situation with somebody who might be like raging, or somebody who really doesn't understand or might be ignorant, I often use the same tools I would use for toddlers. So yes, you don't have to be a mom to join this course. And I, in the course, let people know, like, these things you can use for adults too. So, yes, please do sign up. Ashley, I'm so glad you'll be with us. So, more details are on the informational page posted with this video. There's even an informational video on that page. So I know people like that format. So thank you for joining me. Again, please think twice before investing with teachers, courses, conversations, trainings that use shaming and guilt, because it's going to set you back in the long run. And also, it's important that you feel empowered in creating the new world. It's important that you feel empowered when dealing with these charged issues. And blessings to all of you. I hope you join me in this course. It really has been an amazing run, and I want to finish strong with people bringing this work out into their lives and communities and families and into the world, building a better new world for all of us. So I love you all. You can always DM me. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye!